Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Well, listen, as seniors, you understand the concept of whizzing a lot. Well, Google just whizzed a lot this week. They whizzed $32 billion in cash. So let's talk all about it. And also, bad news for Roku users. The commercials are coming. So I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior. We have an outstanding panel today to talk about all the tech news of the week. And I want to thank them for coming today. I'll be introducing everybody in just a moment. I want to thank you for all being out there. It's great. You're coming and having a listen with us for the next hour. I think we've got a great program for you. We have all sorts of interesting things to talk about. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're new, who the heck are these crazy whizzing seniors, right? So we're actually from our Monday show. We have a show on Monday. This is the Thursday show. We have a Monday show, and we just started season 6 years. So I guess some people want to watch it. It's, I guess, Hewie, we've lasted the test of time, eh? What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're still on.
I think we're still on. Anyway, we got lots of people wanting to listen to it. So come and listen to us on Monday if you haven't. You can find all the information, and I'll just put it up here on our website, which is www.techforsenior.com. And this, of course, is it's a Zoom meeting. This is actually we're broadcasting this out through StreamYard, and we're doing it to Facebook, we're doing it to YouTube and Instagram. Hey, pretty good. 3 different services that we're broadcasting this out to. So welcome. And the other thing is we can't see you. We have no idea who's out there. So if you wouldn't mind just putting in the comments, yeah, we can't see. We could just be talking by ourselves for the time, but we're certainly but we're hoping someone's listening, and the only way we know is if you put something in the chat. So that would be great. Thanks so much. Let me introduce everybody today. Of course, we have my co-host for the Monday show, a man who needs no introduction. He is an expert in all facets of computers, a very, very knowledgeable man, and a nice guy too. That would be Hewie Poplock. How are you doing, Hewie?
I've never been known as a nice guy.
Oh, really? All right. Okay. Well, I think you're a nice guy.
Oh, that's good. I guess I am. In my old age, anyway.
Yeah. And of course, from Los Lunas, New Mexico. Has anyone visited Los Lunas or Meadow Lake, to be specific? We have another nice guy. We have Bob Gostischa. He's, of course, been with us since day one when we started our Monday show. And he's our security expert and a man of many, many expert ideas and a prolific producer of videos and technology, and has a lot will have a lot to say, and he's a good friend of mine as well. So hello, Bob. How you doing?
Just fine. I wish it would start getting warm. We're supposed to be in spring. The last 2 days have been miserable. It's windier than all heck, and the temperature's not nice. It's down below freezing. I just had some new trees planted. They're not very happy.
Exactly. Well, and then of course we have now, unmute yourself, Bill. You're muted. There you go. So I have I'd like to introduce Bill James from Oklahoma City, but I have some nasty things to say about him. In fact, my wife's so mad at him, she says I can't read his articles anymore. He writes our gadget article on Monday in the Tuesday newsletter. And, I just so addicted. I keep buying all the stuff he recommends. My wife says, that man, don't you read any more of his articles. So anyway, Bill, of course, is our gadget guy, but I always call him a gadget guy, but that's not fair because he's sort of multi-dexterous. He teaches Mac, he teaches Windows, he teaches a lot of different things. He's a really smart guy. And of course, he teaches on our Monday show. So, but also he has fun with gadgets. We both have fun with gadgets. We both like to buy gadgets. So anyway, there you go.
We all do.
Well, welcome to the show.
I become addicted to my own gadgets. I think I bought all the last 3 or 4 that I put in my article. The ice maker, and I bought the wallet, and I bought the Pebble tracker.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
That's that's designed for Android, and it works really well.
It works well. Sometimes, Bill, you put gadgets in there that I've already bought. So our minds are actually thinking along the same lines, because I can sometimes beat you on the gadget because I already have that. But anyway,
you already had the ice maker, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, that was a really good one. I'd had that for about a year, and it works great. So it was really good. So anyway, that's good. So anyway, we're going to have a great show for you today. Hewie, is there anyone out there listening?
Absolutely. Let's take a look.
Mike Saunders. Hi, Mike. Beautiful sprint day with temps out in the 70s in Chesham, UK. Oh. Very good. Ed Weiss, 56 degrees, partly cloudy in central New Jersey. Monsignor Mike, welcome. Welcome. We noticed that you were on our Monday show. You've come on a number of times on this show. Welcome. It's nice to see you. Greetings from St. Louis, where it's 41 degrees, sunny and a bit breezy.
And the Monsignor is a blues enthusiast. We need to talk
really?
about that.
So listen, why don't, if you're a blues enthusiast, give Mike Leaman a note or make a suggestion on Monday on what you might like him to put on as a music outro. If you have some favorite musicians that you like, give us a hint. You can help us choose some of the music outros. It should be fun. Mike Leaman's here. Hey, speaking of Mike Leaman, You got to talk to Monsignor. Yeah. Moncton, New Brunswick, where it is 52 degrees and sunny. Now, Mike is our new member of our Tech for Senior team, and he is taking over for Ray Baxter and doing our music outros. And he had a big success last Sunday with our St. Patrick's Day. Of course, he had Danny Boy as the outro, which was pretty good. That's a good crowd pleaser. So I'm looking forward to Mike, to your crowd pleaser this coming Monday. Of course, it will be a top secret. We won't be revealing that to anybody until Monday. But anyway, we look forward to Mike's enthusiasm. Jane Lingenfelter, 51 degrees, raining in Pennsylvania, northwest Pennsylvania. Monsignor Mike, 5 degrees in St. Louis. Richard Clarkson, 56 degrees right now in Southern California. Will go up to 78 later on, getting warmer. JJ, 34 degrees in Waukegan and snow for the first day of spring.
Spring is sprung and the grass is riz. I wonder where the birdies is.
Jay says, I see Bill and Bob sharing the same room. Yeah, they're visiting. They're visiting each other. Yeah. We haven't decided whether Bob's visiting Bill in Oklahoma or Bill went to Bob in Los Lunas, but they're visiting. They're visiting.
I got here first, so Bill came to visit me.
Exactly. Dick Vogel, it's already 77 degrees Fahrenheit in sunny Sanford, Florida. JG says, we are all part of the Members Helping Member Spending Money Club. Well, you know, when you leave this world, you want to have $0 and 0 cents, right? So exactly. it's a fine. You want to sort of
have no sense already. So
you just want to keep that. So I keep buying some gadgets. You don't know. I mean, it's a tough one to figure out, right?
The more toys, the better.
That's right. James Martis, 45 degrees in Cooksville, Tennessee. Thank you. Monsignor says, will do. Yeah, I'm sure Mike Leaman is very suggestive that. Let him know what you want, and he'll be able to put it on for you. That's great. All right. Great. So we've got all that's done. So I guess we can talk about a couple of articles. Let's just bring this up here. So the first one, let's go over the first one today. And this was, of course, the article, why Google made a $30 billion bet on Wiz. Now, I know this does not apply. This is more of a commercial application. But the thing that was interesting about the article was $32 billion is a lot of money. Like, I think it is. And they paid cash. They wrote a check. Can you imagine going to the bank and writing a check for $32 billion? You know, like, that's a lot of money. Do they have special checks?
They don't leave me enough room in the column to put all those zeros in.
Yeah,
despite the fact it's going to bounce. But that's
do they have any? Like, are they gold checks? Do you need a special check to write $32 billion on a check? I don't know.
Oh wow.
Or, you know,
my question about that and is that, you know, Google is a web-based platform to begin with. So what is the point of them purchasing?
Good point. Good point. So let's find out. All right, let's find. So Google's latest acquisition in its most expensive yet, and perhaps its riskiest too. On Tuesday, the search giant announced it acquired the cloud security startup Wiz for $32 billion. It's a major bet that Wiz can beef up Google's cloud business, which makes far less money than the offerings built into its rivals. But to do that, Google faces real challenge integrating the expensive acquisition and dodging regulatory concerns that's certain to be a high-profile purchase. So if we look in the next slide, will show you just how poorly Google is doing compared to Microsoft and Amazon. So they really want to beef up because the money is to be, Bill, we should have been in this business because this is where the money is. Let's see what they say here. Both Microsoft and Amazon have profited handsomely from the AI cloud gold rush, with their cloud services reporting revenues reaching $105 billion and $107 billion respectively during the fiscal year of 2024. Google, on the other hand, is a minor player in comparison. Its cloud revenue surpassed just 43 billion in 2024. With the AI boom showing no signs of stopping, Google may have found a way to shrink the gap with its fellow tech titans, even if it has to spend billions of dollars to get there. So that's the reason, is they're behind on asleep on the switch there. And so what this is, you probably have all heard about CloudStrike. Remember last year when the internet, the world stopped, the whole world shut down. There was no computers working. The world stopped. And remember, it was a cloud strike. Remember the thing called CloudStrike? That's the networking software. Well, Wiz is the competition to CloudStrike. It's the same stuff. Okay. It's the same idea. Okay. So founded in 2020. So it's a relatively new company. Wiz has rapidly become one of the fastest growing software companies in the world. Its leader team has a history of success. Wiz CEO and several members of the executive team were also behind Adalom, the cloud security startup that Microsoft bought for $320 million in 2015, and later rebranded as Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. So the CEO's done a good job with that. And as a deluge of AI startups continue shopping around for a cloud provider, they might take Google's cloud integration with Wiz into account. The company bills itself as serving customers of every size of business, from startups to Fortune 100s. Wiz's marketing has paid off with Rappaport scaling the startup from 1 million in annual revenue to 100 million in just 18 months. Wiz since hit a $350 million in annual revenue, and nearly half of all companies on the top 100 of Fortune's 500 list use the software. In May 2024, the startup raised $1 billion, putting the company's valuation at around $12 billion. So that's where we are with Wiz, and that's why Google bought Wiz.
Yeah, we think of Microsoft as a Windows company, but they make all their money in the cloud storage.
That's right.
That's their big revenue getter.
Yeah. So that's cool. So anyway, that's all about Wiz. Now the next one is sort of bad news. This is sad, but true. All right. So this was the Roku test customer patient with startup video ads. Some Roku owners were incensed when a Mona ad started playing even before they had it on the home screen. So this is a test run of ads on Roku. So now we've talked about this over the last couple of years. Of course, there was the problem that Netflix had and the financial difficulty they were incurring, until, guess what? They started ads, and then as soon as they started ads, their problems, their financial problems went away. Amazon followed suit quickly with that, and now some of us pay $3 a month so we don't get ads on Amazon Prime. So Roku, which is struggling now as well, has decided that this, of course, is where they're going to make their revenue. And over the weekend, a number of Roku device owners noticed an irksome new advertising method from the company. A trailer from Moana 2 began playing before they'd even made it to the Roku home screen. ARS Technic reported on the situation, which has been called out in a few different Reddit threads. The reaction among customers, as you may imagine, is overwhelmingly negative, right? It's worth remembering that Roku makes the bulk of its revenue from advertising, not the bargain bin price streaming software. But just like Amazon before it, Roku is discovering that it easily to turn the ads dial too far. It's possible to exit out of the ad after it starts, but that hasn't done much to quell the frustration. And whether it's Amazon, Google, Roku, they're all constantly trying to feel out just how much customers are willing to tolerate in exchange for affordable streaming gadgets. But these ads often extend to pricier hardware as well. A couple of weeks ago, I saw a full screen Starbucks ad on Google TV home screen of one of my Hisense U8N, which retails for just over $900. Not ideal, but this is how it goes. So Well, guys.
Well,
Well, you know, we grew up with NBC, ABC, and CBS and watching over the year TV for many, many years. And it's all ad supported. And they're losing shares because it's more beneficial for the advertisers to do it on the streaming services and on other things than they are for the big ones that we used to watch all the time. And they're having struggles staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it this way. I think, if you're going to if you want free TV, you're going to have to tolerate ads. If you don't want them, pay the extra bucks to take them off. I think that's the fair way to do it.
I think, yeah.
My wife watches a program, and apparently they don't have a whole lot of ads to show. So they come up with this little clock. It doesn't show you anything except just tick tock, tick tock.
Where they
where a commercial should be.
Oh,
okay?
Isn't that interesting?
And I got news for you. I rather watch the commercial. It goes by faster than this tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, which drives you nuts. But you can't get past it.
Or the moment of zen, and they show some kind of a field or rain coming down, and as soon as the rain starts coming down, I got to pee.
Right. I subscribe to the free version of Hulu, and it'll show a movie, but I have to set to usually about 3 or 5 minutes of ads before the movie shows.
Mm-hmm.
And but since I like gadgets, it really doesn't bother me because I always get inspiration from something. I'll see something. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I might want to look into that more.
Yeah, go to a theater. Go to a theater to watch a movie you just paid a lot of money for, and what do you see at the beginning? Ads.
30 minutes of ads.
Okay, guys, we got to move on now. People came to listen to the news of the week, so we got to stop. We got to move on. Anybody else we got to bring up on their comments before we get on to the news?
Let's see what we've got here.
Deb Shannon. Hi, Deb. Beautiful 74 degrees in Dunedin. Kitchen Mama electric can opener is great gadget. Also for cans, no hands. I'm ordering the jar gadget now. So I guess that was your, was that last week? Was it?
That was last week.
That was the last week.
And that Kitchen Mama electric can opener, I love.
You love it. Hey, there you go.
Thank you.
Eddie Taylor, spring is back to Prescott, Arizona. Yes. Well, spring's going to get hot there pretty soon. Gary Bowden, I wonder if sales of good Google Cloud services are hurt by purchases suspicious of Google's personal data collection. Good question. Don't know. Richard Clarkson, customers will leave Roku if they keep it up. I would be one of them. Some ads anyway on the different streaming platforms. Well, and that's what people said about Netflix and Amazon. But I mean, Prime, where do you really go? I mean, that's a lot of people have Roku devices. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Hewie, let's get on with the articles. Let's bring them up and let's roll.
Let me update first, because I know Bob probably snuck something in there.
Stop do that.
Yep.
All right.
New Gemini Advanced.
Hold on.
It's a new feature.
Ron's not showing it. Yep.
Are you? Oh, yeah. You want me to put it up? Okay. Yeah. Hold on here.
I got it.
There you go.
This is a tutorial that shows you something new that's available if you have Gemini Advanced. And for those of you that might be using Notebook LM, actually, they didn't have enough usage, so they made it available right within the Gemini Advanced AI.
Ron, this is you.
This was actually a good article, and I read it. The reason I put this article in there is I tried to get Hewie and Bob to take pictures of themselves the other day, and I had to keep reminding them, and I wanted to, if you don't use your camera a lot, and there are changing the color and changing some of the features on the camera can really accentuate your picture. So if we don't use our cameras very often, articles like this tell you some of the settings that you can turn on in your camera that actually make your pictures a lot better. So all I'm saying is most of these modern cameras now take very good pictures, but you can often improve them even more by the default settings in your camera. So just check that. Don't just assume that everything is going to be okay. And that's the reason I put that article up.
Or come to Monday's show and watch Chris demonstrate all of this.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, this I posted: smart TV remote lost again. Try these brilliant solutions. And I lost one of my remotes, and I couldn't find it. I went to Amazon and ordered a new one, and I still didn't find it for probably a month and a half. Then all of a sudden I looked down and it was under something way over the other end of the room. And so now I have two. I have one by the TV and I have one by my computer, so I can adjust the TV while I'm playing it in the background. But and then the one in my living room, everything gets stuck. The keys get stuck after a while because you're eating and you're playing with the remote, and they start getting stuck. So I ordered another one for my living room, so I have two in the living room now too.
Bill, didn't you buy a universal remote or something? Didn't you talk about that? I thought you were talking about a remote. I thought maybe about a year ago. Did you not buy sort of a universal? Are you muted?
He's still muted. There he is.
Oh, what I did, I bought a Roku remote that was voice activated, but it wasn't universal.
Universal. Okay. All right.
Logitech at one time had some really good universal remotes, but I think they did away with those. But there are still some out there.
Yeah, some of the new TVs, because of their operating systems, they're not all compatible like in the old days, because you have to go through the interface on the TV, and some are web OS and others are Android. There's just a whole gaggle of operating systems that run in the background, because the new TVs are basically computers.
Mm.
And this article is: Gemini now makes it easy to link your Gmail and Google Calendar. So you can be reading a Gmail and it talks about something, you can click on it and it will put that item in your calendar for a particular
We did a video on that on Monday's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there's 10 smartphone photography mistakes that held me back for years. So you might want to take a look at that article and see if you're making the same mistakes. And again, watch our Monday show when Chris is on. I can't remember if it was on here or on a Monday, or maybe it was on a different show that I was on, but some people were having problems with their Canon printers not being detected on their PC. And this article talks about it and how to fix that. So if you're having problems with your Canon printer, you might want to look at this and see if it solves your issues.
And Hewie, just a follow up on that, because when I was doing support work at our Silveridge down in Mesa, it was very common to have Canon printer problems. And let me just tell you that if you go and you search on Google and you say you need help installing your Canon printer, the first 10 selections are bogus. And when you phone them, they will try and get you to phone, and then they'll get you to put your credit card in. And the first 10 there, so it's really, if you are looking for help, be extremely careful. If you go on the internet, make sure you're going to a reputable site. And it's often very difficult to find, because there is a lot of shady deals on this, and they're all in the top 10 search.
That's
HP is the same problem.
You use AI to do your search for this specific problem, because it won't have any ads. It'll just give you the answer.
Yeah. Be careful with HP. I've had several people have gone ahead and looked up something and then gone to it. And again, like you say, they wanted money and
That's right.
they wanted to get into your computer and all sorts of things.
It's just a disaster.
Okay, and this one is why Windows 10 will stick around for some time yet. A good article explaining why people who have a computer that won't run Windows 11 and won't update to it, and they're perfectly happy with Windows 10, it's going to be around for a while. So even though this service is going to, or I'm sorry, the updates and so on are going to stop, there's going to be lots of help for you, and a lot of people are still going to be using Windows 10. And Ron, you posted this.
Yeah, I wanted just to let everyone know again. Most people get their watch, they put it on, and they tell time with it, and maybe they use the timer, and that's it. These are very complex computers, and I would encourage you to keep looking and reading. And this is an article again that keep looking and reading, because there's some cool stuff that you can do that I'm sure you don't do with that watch. So it's not something that it's just you put it on your wrist and it'll do it all for you. You have to learn how to use it. And I would encourage you to keep reading and looking about it. Doesn't matter what watch you have, but explore all the different features, because this is one article that probably lists a bunch of features you didn't even know you had.
But to get to them, you got to remember how to do it. First, you put your right hand in, and then you put your right hand out, and then you shake it all about. It makes it all do different things. Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who have Pixel watches, there is a new version of Wear, the operating system, coming out. And so there will be some changes, just to let everyone know that this is coming. And so there will be some updates to it.
I think my phone is ringing, and I can't reach it.
Okay.
This is you, Ron.
All right.
Let me mute.
So this is a good example of a badly written article. Now, and I put this in there. Ditch your Apple Watch. The Galaxy Watch Ultra is now 50% on Amazon Store. Now, let me just explain why this is such a bad article and a bad headline. So if you have an Apple Watch, you would normally be using an iPhone. Well, an Apple Watch only works with an iPhone. So if you decided to ditch your Apple Watch to buy a Galaxy Watch, then of course, the problem would be the Galaxy Watch would work on your iPhone, but of course, none of the health apps would work, because you need the Samsung UI to be able to use the health apps. So that means that you would have to sell your iPhone and buy a Samsung phone to make the health apps work. So be careful when you read articles like this. This was a blockhead that a real idiot that wrote this article, and that to me makes no sense whatsoever.
Same article. Okay. This is you, Brian.
Yeah, we talked about this before. If you do have a Pixel phone, make sure you did the March update. There is the March update. Bob and I did that a couple of weeks ago, but the March update's out. Make sure you update your phone. I had to put this in. I got to tell you guys. So the article is a great article. And thank the person who wrote this. Sonos is still trying to figure out why everyone hates its app. So I hate Sonos, and I will never buy another Sonos speaker. I'm saying this now because I own a Sonos speaker. I've had it for about 7 years now, and you all know that I upgraded my system about 8 months ago from cable to fiber. And in that, of course, my network changed, and I have a different SSID, a different network. You would think, folks, that the app would be so smart that it would say, hey, you got a new network, put the password in, and all is good. 2 or 3 hours of research into this. 8 months it sat on right in front of my upstairs chair. And every day I look at that thing, because I still can't get it working. I still can't do it. I've looked at tons of videos on YouTube. I mean, this is a big problem. And every time I look at that every morning, I think I will never buy another Sonos product in my life, and it all is based on that stupid app. So thank you, The Verge, for writing this article, because I agree 100% with you. So there you go.
And Sonos speakers aren't cheap.
No, this speaker was $300 or $400. So, and I'm just, anyway, can't get it going. This was a nasty one. Mobile phone explodes in pocket, damaging the privates of this individual. A sad story. It occurred actually in India, and it occurred by a young 19-year-old boy who had a stand selling food, and he got enough money to buy a used phone, which brings up the first problem. Be careful when you buy a used phone. The second issue was of course, the battery had been replaced. And of course, they'd replaced it by a non-standard battery, which was a very cheap battery that was made out of China for pennies. And the third thing was the charger was a charger that was known to overcharge batteries, and of course, overcharge the battery that was in the phone, and that caused the explosion. That, of course, really damaged him and was really a sad situation. So please, if you are buying a used phone, make sure that of course, that if the battery has been replaced, it's not a bad idea to take it into a reputable phone service and say, hey, is this battery okay? What's going on? You really want to make sure that you don't have real cheap batteries put in these, because these can cause really bad damage.
This would be considered a conglomeration of errors that really weren't very funny.
That's right. Well, we have the same problem, Bob, in Vancouver, particularly with bicycles and about e-bikes. And it's particularly bad in the downtown area, where a lot of couriers use e-bikes to run around delivery services, and they have their bikes sitting out on their balconies. Like, they live in high rises, they bring them up and they put them on their balcony, but they buy cheap batteries and overcharge them, and they often cause big fires. There's been some massive fires related to bikes on balconies and overcharging with cheap batteries. So it's a big problem. Next version of the iPhone, no ports. Can you believe it? No plugins whatsoever. No USB, no USB-C or anything like that. There's no lightning ports, nothing. No ports.
You just put it on a charger, correct?
Yeah. So it's no ports. So interesting.
Was that Apple's rebellion to having to change to?
Well, the EU says portless devices are okay, opening the door to Apple, and they've been talking about this for a while now. So, yeah, I guess that's right, Bob. They said, well, we just won't put ports on phones.
That's right.
No
we
ports.
Won't go to 3.1 or 3.2 USB. We'll just simply go to no ports.
No ports.
Well, also pushing what they call MagSafe.
Yes. This was an article about, this was interesting. This was about, of course, a big, the software was called Vapor. It got on, it infected a lot of phones, and it occurred through the Android Play Store, Google's Android Play Store. Now, I guess the reason I put the article up was not just to scare everyone and everything like that. I guess my concern is, before you install an app on your phone, I think you should do due diligence and be careful and think twice. A lot of people go through the store and they're flipping through, oh, that's a cool app, let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try that. And they load a lot of apps on. Now, the Google Store is doing a pretty good job of trying to, keep this stuff off and there's a Play Store, what is it called? Play Verify. That's a verification that Google puts on, saying that is, if that stamp is on the app before you download it, it should be okay. But I just be cautious. Don't, I see lots of people, oh, that's sort of cool. It's a new flashlight app. Let's try that, and then that's how you get caught. So be careful.
You need to make sure that the app that you install only needs permission to what it needs to function, not to everything on your phone. And that's where people just don't pay attention.
Good point,
Yeah,
Bob.
and this is also true on a PC or a Mac. Not so much the Mac because they guard their access to software a lot closer. But on your window, you don't want to just be grabbing an app that sounded good you read on Facebook or in some kind of a news article. You want to check it out and make sure it's not going to be a problem.
Oh, this is so cool. This is a big deal. Now, this is really interesting. So Google, the next version of Google that's coming out of their operating system for their Android phone. It may actually come out in one of the security releases. You may not actually have to wait for, I think it's 16 that's coming out in July. But anyway, so as you all know, there's a built into your phone now, into Android, the operating system, there is a recorder. So you can just simply record your screen. You can do it with audio. You can either put audio in there, and there's a bunch of things you can do, and that's all built in. And you can sort of tee that up to a button on your phone if you want to use it. And it's so you don't. It's part of the operating system. I use it all the time, and it's super easy to use. So there is no need to download an app to do because I used to have a lot of old apps on there that I use for screen recording, but I don't use any of them anymore. It's all built in. Now, what this is the cool part about it is you got to remember a lot of people use their phone for primarily for their main PC. They don't have a PC. They do all their stuff all on mobile. So what this is you're going to be able to plug your phone into your monitor and record the monitor onto your phone. You get it? So you take your phone, you can plug it into the monitor. So if you are trying to capture your PC and you want to capture that and put it into whatever software you're using or whatever you're doing, you now can capture that. So in other words, you can, instead of capturing the screen on your phone, you'll be able to capture the screen on your PC right on your phone. Isn't that? I think that's going to be really cool.
I can't see my phone now. That's why I try to do everything in reverse.
Right. Well, that's because you are a PC guy. So a lot of people are mobile and they do everything on their phone. That's right. Exactly right. It's exactly opposite.
Yep.
But they do everything on their phone. So they need the other way around. So I think it's going to be cool. I think that's a really great idea.
Those are young kids with young eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's about 50% of the people now that are doing it. So
or old folks with magnifying glasses.
Or big screens, right? Exactly.
Cataract surgery.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But that's interesting. This is out of Tom's guide. So I want to give you guys just a heads up on this. You know, I've been talking for years about Apple Wallet and Google Wallet and so on and so forth. And it is and when Bill, tell us, what was your amazing thing when you were at France a couple of weeks ago? Bill was in France hobnobbing with the rich and famous. And what did you say, Bill, that was so enlightening what you saw there?
I used my phone to pay most of my bills. They all had these little registers that look like the one in the picture that they carried around, and I just tapped them on the machine, and everything was good.
There you go. So
I really like that.
So what happened was this fella who wrote this is an article on Tom's Guide, and what the fella did is he was always skeptical, and he was a negative person about wallets, and his credit card got destroyed. Went through something happened, and it got destroyed, and he had no credit card until they sent him a new one. So he had to start using his Apple Wallet. And he used his Apple, and now he's never going back. He thinks it's great, and he goes on and on and on about all the great things it does. So that's why I put the article up. Read the article.
This is you, Ron.
Yeah, Apple readies their man. Oh yeah, so I guess there's a new the next version of software coming out for Apple is all changing the UI and everything. And I guess this all has to do with AI. I mean, for years, nothing really changed very much at Apple. It was always pretty much the same UI that we looked at when you had an Apple phone. well, life's changing so it's all changing. So it's all going to be new, and that's coming out, and that's the article.
Yeah, they like to make it difficult for us seniors who get in the habit. It's kind of like the grocery stores. Every once in a while, they change around where everything is just to confuse you.
Exactly. Costco's good at that. They always but I've been going there so often, I got all their secrets. I know where all their secrets are. This was the thing. Was Google Wallets lets kids make in-store payments, so the parents can supervise this, and so kids don't actually have to have cash with them anymore, and that's a good thing because then they don't get mugged, robbed, lose their cash and everything, and so they can make payments, in-store payments with the kids' wallet. It's a specific, supervised by parents. I don't use Firefox. Does anyone here use Firefox?
I haven't in a long time.
I haven't used it. But if you are a Firefox user, you should update your Firefox quickly, because everything's going to sort of change, and you need to make sure that you've upgraded your software. Otherwise, it just isn't going to work. So that's for Firefox users. I thought just check that. In April, for those of you who have Samsung phones, and we don't pick on people that have Samsung, although yes, I guess we're 50-50.
The four of us do.
I know. Bob and I have Pixel phones, so Bill and Hewie have Samsung phones. Well, you're getting the new UI in April, so it's coming out.
Which is just a couple of weeks away.
Couple of weeks, you're getting. You too can participate in what Bob and I have, right, Bob?
Yes, we have had for a while already.
Exactly. So you're finally getting.
But I don't know the difference between the latest update and the one before that. So.
Exactly. I mean, who knows?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know much about this. I think I'll repost it for next week when Ray's here. Is Plex ups its price? No, Ray's not going to be here next week. It's Mike's on next week. But when Ray's here next week, Plex ups its price for the first time in a decade, changes remote streaming access. So,
Plex is a service like Roku and some of the other Tubi and so on. Plex is a streaming service. Not only is there the Plex server like Ray uses, but there is also an app called Plex that you get and use it as a service to get the different channels.
Yeah. So anyway,
and that's what's raising its price.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I was going to ask Ray what he thought of that. So we'll. I'm
not sure if he uses the Plex service or not.
Yeah. This is so cool. So this is a ring that you put around a digit. I don't know if it has to be the thumb. And as you do sign language, it transcribes it into text. That's pretty cool. That's a good application, eh? So, absolutely. Yeah, as you do sign language, and for the deaf, you do the sign language, and it just converts it all to text. I thought that's pretty darn cool. Good application. Bob talked about this. I'll just show you one quick thing here that you can see. If you do use Gemini, and this is available in the free version as well, is that if you come down here, you'll see, if you have Gemini now, you'll see that you will see a new icon here called Canvas. And when you open it up, this is what the canvas looks like. And if you come up here, you can export that right into Docs. Now, as Bob, we were talking about this earlier, and of course, ChatGPT has this sort of thing already. So this is not a new idea, but it just gives you a nice canvas to work on.
Well, that, and if you do searching using some of the chatbots, and you get an answer and you copy and then paste it into Word, it changes the formatting and the way it works and the way it looks. And I wonder if this would simplify that, make it much easier to work with.
Yeah. Huey, before we move into the last 10 minutes here, have we got any more
No,
comments?
I guess we're keeping them occupied.
Oh, we are. Well, I guess they're riveted. They're riveted to the screen. All right, we'll keep going. There's a question, of course. Now, here's a good point. Bob, I think, sent an email this morning about the price of the 9As and the 9s. So just let everyone, the 9A.
Mine is what I sent you was a 16, not an 8 gigabyte.
Right. So just to let everybody know that the Pixel 9 and then most recently the 9A has just been released. Now, you will find right now a huge amount of sales. Amazon's got them on sale like crazy. They got to sell a ton of these because in July, the Pixel 10 is coming. So in 3 more months, the Pixel 10 is going to be here. The Pixel 10 will have the G5 Tensor chip, which is the brand new, made by Google, not by Samsung chip. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but it's going to be. So I guess that's the reason they got to get rid of all this stuff, because the next generation, this is a big deal coming up. So be careful of that.
There's going to be a big difference in price between what I can now get a Pixel 9 Pro for and what I'll wind up getting a Pixel 10A for.
Correct. And that's the way phones go, right? The other issue was that this article was saying that oftentimes the lower price Pixel 9A, they sell it with 8 gigabits of RAM. And the question was, it's a bad joke for an AI phone. In other words, a phone that you expect to be lasting for a number of years using AI may have a lot of trouble struggling with the 8 gigabit RAM. So just be careful of that.
Yeah, because your phone now is 7 years. Okay, that's a long time.
Long time. Oh, this was a great article. Did you guys see this? This is so cool. I got to read this now. Just a minute here. T-Mobile reports that it's conducting tests on faster 5G speeds. In one test, a Samsung S25 running test software on T-Mobile's 5G network reached download speeds of 4.3 gigabytes in real-world conditions. 4.3 gigabit download rate. And so it goes on and on to talk about the how fast. Anyway, today's press release testing emphasizes the tests were performed in real-world conditions. T-Mobile says the tests are laying out the foundation for future innovation. But
the world I live in, because I can't even get 5G. It's not available on T-Mobile where I live.
I know, but 4.3 gigabit download. That's faster than Hewie. That's faster than our fiber.
Fiber, yeah.
So that's pretty darn good. So is that mine?
Bob has a new
podcast. This one you don't have to watch, just listen. Synthetic Biology, a friendly guide to cybersecurity and more with me.
And this is
falls
mine.
under the more category because it certainly has nothing to do with cybersecurity.
This webpage, AI News on Hewie's Views and Reviews, offers updates for the newest happenings in artificial intelligence. It features videos, news articles on topics such as AI models, applications, and tools, including discussions on AI Studio, Google's VO 2, and the performance comparisons of AI models like Grok 3 and Gemini 2. The page also provides updates on AI applications in video and music generation and content creation. So now I have put together a page on my website with AI news articles and videos on how to do things. It's a conglomeration of the best videos that I'm finding on YouTube. And so there's a lot of really good articles there to while away the time to learn more about AI. And Zoom AI Companion is going agentic. If you remember, one of my prognostications at the beginning of the year is we're going to be seeing a lot more of AI agents, and Zoom is now adding a companion that's going to run about $10 more a month if you have the paid account, and it's just going to do some more agent things that you can set up for it to do for you. And this we already mentioned about the update to Samsung phones. And here's another article on Zoom. AI will soon help you do busy work too. Again, with the agents in Zoom. And then this is, some people still are trying to use this pointless Windows application that they're talking about here. And that is
to speed up the computer when it's based on old technology, which most people don't have on their computer anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs out there that that talk about ways to speed up your PC, and Ready Boost is one of them, and it's obsolete.
Yeah, Ready Boost speeds up the old hard drives. Yeah. Most of us don't have old hard drives anymore.
And the article says it could do some damage to the SSD as well. This, I mentioned this earlier. Manus, the general AI agent, it builds agents for you. It's way above my pay grade. I looked at it. It appears to be for people who are more into coding, but it does create AI agents. So it's not an AI agent itself. It's a program to build them. And I'm also seeing some AI agent collections out there where you can use other people's agents. And that I'm interested in. I've been trying to follow as well. And let's see. Tiny free app helps me avoid malicious QR codes. Yeah, there's a program that you can add to your phone instead of using a QR code reader and looking at a QR code and going to it. You don't know where it's taking you. In some cases, the bad guys are using QR codes. They're sticking them places and actually sticking the QR codes over good ones. And so when you go to it, it takes you to one to install malware, or it'll give you some kind of problem. This software will tell you where it's going before you go there.
Hewie,
it's from, yes.
Good point. But one of the biggest in the article I just read about the malicious software that's in the Google Store right now, the number one downloaded app that this was found in was QR code readers.
Yep.
And you know, there is no reason to download a QR code reader. Google Lens will do a QR code read for you. You don't need a QR reader. So they're the number one reason why people are getting this Vapor spy or whatever the malicious software is. It's like, remember the old flashlight? Remember the one that, remember, you know, you needed a flashlight app, you know, all of the spyware was in the flashlight apps. Well, the QR code readers are bad.
Yeah, but also the QR code themselves leads you to a website. Yes. And what this does, it looks to see where it's going, and it's going to tell you whether you need to be careful or not to use that QR code.
Exactly.
And it's from one of the antivirus.
Correct. I have it on my system, and I don't go to QR codes unless I'm going through this, which makes me aware of, don't use that website. It's not good.
Well, there was an example the other day about someone in a restaurant. People had, you know, it was a malicious. They'd put stickers on tables, and the waitress didn't know, and the sticker said, "Pay early, scan here to pay." So people were clicking it was stuck on the table. It looked like a sticker from the business. So they scanned that, and of course it took them to the site. They put their credit card information, they paid the bill, but it had nothing to do with the restaurant.
Yeah. So they still had to pay for it.
They still had to pay for it.
This is another AI model, Ernie 4.5 and Ernie X1, you're going to see more and more information about another Chinese company coming up with some very fast and interesting AI. And 4 practical uses for password managers you didn't know about. And it's some of the things that I use it for is I use it to save the when I buy new software, I save all of the information when I bought it, the key that I needed, where I bought it from. So if I have a problem, I know where to go. And then if I get a new computer and I need to reinstall that software, I can find that key very readily. And there's other uses as well that it mentions that you can use your password manager for. Save private items, save your a copy of your driver's license, your car insurance, and so on. So use your password manager for more than just passwords. And this was from the Kim Commando show. Microsoft is paywalling Notepad and Paint. If you don't have a free, if you don't have the paid Microsoft 365, there's going to be certain things in Notepad and Paint you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay for.
They're building AI into Notepad and Paint, and I guess that's what you're going to have to pay for if you want to use that feature.
Oh, that's interesting, Hewie. Now that I did not know that, and you got me using Notepad all the time. Now you gave a great talk on that, and when I copied something in last night in Notepad, I thought Hewie talked about AI and Notepad, and I looked around and there wasn't anything like that, and I thought, well, I don't pay for any of the Microsoft services, so that's probably why I don't have it, right?
Could be.
Interesting.
Ron, this is you.
Yeah, this
You're
is
getting close to the top of the hour, Ron.
Oh, wow.
No, well, this will be our last article, if that's okay. We talked about this before, and this is going to be a big issue. With the new AI that Amazon announced for Echo, it's going to be listening to you all the time, and whether that's going to make people happy or sad. The article talks all about that. So this is not a new article. This has been around. Okay. All right. Listen, we should probably wind it up. Do we have any? Let me just take this off, and we'll take that off. There we go. We should probably wind
I got one right now. Yeah.
Do you? Let's have a look here. Ray says Ray uses Plex mainly for ripping Blu-ray DVDs and CDs to play them on his home server. Okay.
Yep.
And if you remember, I said they were riveted.
Hey, we did it. Welcome. Thanks, Deb. Riveting. I like that. As Ray has said, there are 2 types of people: those who stream media and those who collect. Well, that's well put, Steve. That's a really good, well put. Geeks on Tour, Chris and Jim. Well, thanks. Thanks, boys. Excellent. Thanks a lot. And yeah, riveting. I love that. We got to put that in our riveting experience. Thanks, Deb. That was just great. All right. Listen, thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for listening to us for an hour. We do appreciate your valuable time. And we will be doing this again next week, of course. But come this Monday, we have a great show organized for this Monday. It's going to be a doozer. So, and Bill's going to be talking. I'm going to be talking. Bob's going to be talking. Huey's going to be talking. But listen, you guys, we got to talk fast because it's a big show. All right.
Singing.
And you're singing too. Yeah. Oh, we got a whole song and dance show, right? It's a song and dance show.
A variety show.
A variety show. That's what Jim says. Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour. He says it's a variety show. So anyway, we're gonna have a good time on Monday. So and Monsignor says, see you soon. Yes, he's coming on our Monday show as well. I see him there. Thanks so much. We will talk to you again and see everyone next week or on our Monday show. All right. Have a great day. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.